It's 6 months. You haven't paid rent. It's my house.
Right now?
Being arrested.
For what?
For being in my own home.
You know how it works.
There's rules to the as you got to go to court and send me to civil court.
Across America, families are watching strangers take over their homes, flashing fake documents while police stand aside powerless, leaving owners with no choice but to walk away. Disorder is spreading fast, and Trump is moving in with a federal crackdown that's ignited protests nationwide. But the deeper you dig, the darker it gets. From Beverly Hills mansions converted into nightclubs to TikTok tutorials showing migrants how to seize property. This wave is turning into a nightmare that could hit every homeowner. So how did it all unravel? Let's break it down. Paul Collins had already been through his share of misery. His wife battled a serious illness, and Paul stayed by her side until she was finally released. Back in Georgia, his house sat vacant. When he eventually returned, he stepped into a new hell. Strangers had broken in, switched the locks, unpacked, and stared him down, saying flatly, "This is our house now."
Y'all squatting in my house.
Paul did what any of us would do. He called the cops.
They shouldn't be in there for, a minute. They should be, out immediate.
But instead of help, Paul got stonewalled. Police told him it wasn't trespassing, it was a civil dispute. The intruders flashed a so-called lease, and officers didn't even bother checking if it was fake.
He have to deal with it with law courts and so that.
Before Paul could even file a lawsuit, he was the one in cuffs, charged with unlawful eviction. Imagine that. The rightful owner treated like a criminal while the freeloader stayed rent-free under his roof. People are connecting the dots. Squatters exploit loopholes, cops can't act, and property owners pay the price. If it can happen in Georgia, wait until you hear about a $5 million Beverly Hills mansion. Now, if Georgia felt insane, Beverly Hills was a circus. A 5,900 square foot mansion listed for nearly $5 million sat empty in late 2023. Squatters moved in, and instead of hiding, they turned it into a full-blown nightclub. Neighbors watched as luxury cars pulled up and crowds poured in night after night.
Hard to believe that this trash-strewn home is in exclusive Beverly Hills. The pool looks like toxic soup. The mansion has been seized by alleged squatters, and it's perhaps the most expensive property in the squatting epidemic.
But these weren't squatters just seeking shelter. They were making money, charging for VIP tables and throwing what one guest called Burning Man in Beverly Hills. The property was trashed, the real owner locked out, and yet the parties raged for 5 months straight, 5 nights a week. When police showed up, the squatters waved forged leases, and nobody on site could prove them fake.
Parties continued night after night after night, and they weren't the kind of parties that ended at 12, they were the kind of parties that started at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Detectives soon realized this wasn't random. The group had been scanning Zillow for vacant listings, then exploiting loopholes to throw $1,500 a night raggers while the owner bled losses. John Woodward, the listing agent, called them a highly organized criminal ring and said they pocketed $30,000 a month from the scheme.
Drug abuse and for nuisance, for loud noise. The police have been up there at least 150 times.
And here's the gut punch. If this can happen in Beverly Hills, the heart of American luxury, what chance do average families have? The next story makes it even scarier. In New York, the law doesn't just protect squatters. It flips the script so hard that homeowners end up behind bars. One woman returned to her own home and told the intruders to leave.
You shouldn't be trying to steal my house. Yes, you are.
ABC 7 cameras caught the moment police arrived, and instead of removing the trespassers, they arrested the actual homeowner.
So Adele, you're getting arrested right now?
Being arrested.
For what?
For being in my own home.
That's the legal reality in New York, and it only gets uglier.
You cannot legally lock a squatter out of your home or turn off utilities. And once a squatter is there for 30 days, they are classified as a tenant.
Police aren't even allowed to verify whether a lease is real. They can't cut utilities, and once squatters pass the 30-day mark, they're considered tenants, meaning the owner has to file a full eviction case just to get their home back. It doesn't matter if the lease is a printout off Google Docs. Squatters know this and use it to their advantage. One even mocked the owner for asking him to leave.
There's rules to the as you got to go to court and send me to civil court.
And he wasn't bluffing. That's how fragile property rights have become in America. But if that's not shocking enough, meet the man who chose to fight fire with fire and squat on the squatters. By now, desperate homeowners had almost no options left. Shelton wasn't one of them. When squatters invaded his late parents' California home, he called the sheriff and got nowhere.
Called law enforcement, and there was nothing they could do.
Why can't the cops evict somebody?
Because the crazy laws don't allow them to.
So Shelton flipped the rules. If squatters could claim his house, he'd claim it back.
I realized I could go in as the squatter myself, gain possession of the property.
The moment they left for a few hours, he slipped in, changed the locks, and when they returned, he was the one inside. And it worked.
I had them locked out before they even knew that somebody wanted them out.
The squatter comes back, finds the door locked, screams, says, I have a right to be there, and you just don't let him in?
I don't let him in.
Shelton reclaimed his mom's house and went public, launching squatterhunters.com to help other owners. Reporters followed him into LA, where he confronted another intruder. This one said he found an ad for a room, walked in with a backpack, and never left. That man wasn't a stranger. It was Adam Fleischman, the former founder of Umami Burger. Shelton confronted him on camera.
I understand you've been squatting at this residence?
No.
No?
No, I have a lease.
Fleischman later admitted he had no lease.
And you have a lease?
No, she didn't want to give me a lease.
And that was the end for him. But the irony was stunning. A once celebrated restaurateur, now an entitled squatter refusing to leave. He even called police claiming he had the right to stay. Shelton remembered.
So he felt that since he had possession of the house, which is true, that he had the right to call law enforcement and have me removed.
And that's when things shifted. While Shelton fought back one house at a time, influencers online were spreading the squatter playbook nationwide. What used to be a whispered trick went viral on TikTok. One migrant creator casually told 500,000 followers how easy it was. Move in, claim squatters' rights. His clip pulled 4 million views, showing just how many people wanted in.
As we have more migrants moving into cities, more homelessness, we are going to see more of it.